This is a PSA, or public sock announcement. Experts have declared Bombas socks as the best way to warm up chilly feet. These pairs are super cushy, soft, and designed for maximum coziness. Plus, for every pair purchased, another pair will be donated, so someone in need of essential clothing can stay warm this winter. Go to bombas.com/listen and use code LISTEN for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/listen and use code LISTEN at checkout.
Support for this podcast comes from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. We've all made mistakes on the water, but there's one mistake you shouldn't make: being uninsured. With Progressive Boat Insurance, you can choose coverage for most mistakes you or other boaters could make, helping you float carefree all season long. Quote today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to take an adventure with rugged capability and commanding style. Check out the Honda Ridgeline, Pilot, or CR-V. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.99% APR on a 2025 Pilot, 1.99% APR on a 2025 Ridgeline, or a 2.99% APR on a 2025 CR-V.
See dealer for financing details.
Now tuned into the greatest.
So when that bag come, I won't fumble. I'm just stacking on the low, but hey, I'm tired of being humble. Let me get to it. That motivation music. Get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause so when I gon' have Metro S550s cruising. Feel like you winning on the ground, but he really lose.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson. All the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. And I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, go ahead, shoot us a quick take, leave a voicemail, and of course, we'll play it back on our next episode. That number is 219-413-9405. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So, I don't know about you, but basketball season is rolling strong right now. And, of course, the playoffs is here. Super excited about the playoffs because this is, of course, what brings us all together. This is what matters the most. This is why we're even here at this time. So I'm super excited about it, man. The first matchup, one of the ones I want to analyze, I talked about a couple on last week or earlier this week, actually. Crazy how time is going by, but I talked about it with Thomas Tariq, the guest, so you could check out that one too, some of the series. But one of the series that was near and dear, I'm excited to watch this, and it's building up a lot of anticipation here, is this Lakers and the Timberwolves matchup. So, man, I'm super excited about it. And I think the Timberwolves end up winning this series in 6 games by a miracle. Now, I know it's crazy. A lot of people are siding with the Lakers. The Lakers are the favorites because of Bron and Luka. And, taking down the Lakers will be tough, obviously. Not stupid. LeBron, Luka Doncic is a crazy combination, and it's going to be tough. But the main reason I even got the Timberwolves winning this is because they have the size advantage. I think they have a more well-rounded team. And when it comes to the size advantage of grabbing rebounds and stuff like that, the Timberwolves, they really got an advantage because they got 2 centers, and they also got a power forward that can grab rebounds. Meanwhile, the Lakers don't really have a lot of depth down low, so they're going to struggle with grabbing rebounds and even protecting the paint when it comes to playing defense and getting stops in the paint. And obviously, as we know, with guards like Anthony Edwards and Dante DiVincenzo on the Timberwolves, those guys can get to the paint. Even the role guys on that team, too. When you look at Jaden McDaniels and the other guy, too. I don't even remember his name right now. But, they got a lot of guys who can get to the basket. Obviously, they can shoot. They knock down a lot of threes as well. We know them as a Minnesota Timberwolves team who can shoot threes, but they can very much get to the basket too. And with the Lakers, man, I don't know if they'll be able to have the defensive presence to really stay there and stay in front of their guys against the Timberwolves in 7 games. Like, it's going to be tough, man. But above all, the Wolves, they are the 4th best defensive ranked team in the West right now. And coming into the close of the season, they were 4th in rebounding in the last 10 games and also 2nd in the West of rebounding in the last 10 games. So, a lot of things kind of go in their favor when you talk about the size advantage for the Timberwolves. However, I'd be lying to you if if I was up here talking about the Timberwolves is just going to win and I'm not worried about what the Lakers is doing. No. Can't even fool you like that. I wouldn't dare play around like that. I really do think the Lakers have a great shot at winning because there's small advantages that's working out for LeBron and Luka Doncic when we think about this. So one of the things here is just some small things first, not even about the other advantages that you can get into in a statistical sense, but just some small things that's helping the Lakers out. One of them is home court advantage. If the series goes to 7 games, Lakers are at home. LeBron James has obviously Luka Doncic, so he can preserve energy, allow Luka Doncic to score and facilitate while he's preserving his energy. And that's going to be a huge thing because anytime LeBron James can sit on the bench and rest up or be in the game and just play cleanup man and play a different role outside of the main scorer and the main facilitator, it's a glorious day for LeBron. And when he is effective on top of being the second hand guy or just trying to play Robin to another Batman, LeBron is, man, I don't need to explain how great he is at doing that. But also, too, this Lakers team has a lot of rest right now. I mean, obviously, the season just ended, so most teams are getting rest. But again, going back to the whole well-rested LeBron, man, it's scary because coming into the season, obviously, we know the whole headlines and everything all throughout the season. Has some small knick-knack injuries, but the playoffs is a long stretch, man. It's a long stretch. It's going to be a tough series. I imagine the Timberwolves is not just going to roll over and let the Lakers do whatever. So, it's going to be intense here. But matchup-wise, the Lakers still kind of have an advantage because there's just certain areas that favor the Lakers. And when I think of a playoff series, the number one thing I think of is the stardom. So now we're looking at a playoff matchup where obviously Timberwolves versus the Lakers. You look at the stars on the floor. Anthony Edwards in the Minnesota Timberwolves. Cool, great. Who's his co-star? Julius Randle? Dante DiVincenzo? Rudy Gobert? Jaden McDaniels? Come on. But then you look at the Lakers and you look at their co-star, whether you want to say LeBron or Luka, either way, it's not really a co-star. It's a Batman and Superman combination over with the Los Angeles Lakers with their stardom. The rest of the guys on the team, the Austin Reeves and the Roys, all of those guys will fall in line. But ultimately, the Lakers have 2 guys who can explode for 40 points at any given time. The Timberwolves don't really have that. It's just Anthony Edwards. So when you start looking at other alternative options outside of Anthony Edwards, you don't really have that other guy there that can go off and give you a big 30-point, 40-point type of game. I don't trust Julius Randle to go out there and give anybody a 30, 40-point game. Dante DiVincenzo will be the next option I look at for anybody who steps up and possibly gives a 30 or 40-point game to help out Anthony Edwards. But even then, that's not even extremely common in terms of what's going to happen and which co-star can really step up. So this is the dilemma here when I'm talking about matchup-wise, because the supporting cast on each team is just slightly different. One obviously has more stardom, and both of these guys are well sauteed in the playoffs, got plenty of experience. Luka Doncic, come on, man, let's just be honest. Luka could probably take the Lakers without LeBron to the conference finals with this team that he has. We've seen him do it a couple years ago. So, it's difficult. It's difficult to just put that perspective past the Timberwolves and just say, oh, yeah, they got it. They got it in 6 games. So I think it's going to be a battle for sure. Each game is we're going to have to go game by game. It'll be a lot of adjustments. I think we see a great series here between these two. But ultimately, man, if Anthony Edwards want to defeat LeBron James, it's going to damn near take a perfect performance. Like, I've never seen anybody beat LeBron in the playoffs and give a subpar performance. Everybody I've seen beat LeBron in the playoffs in any series, whether it was the finals, conference finals, second round, first round, anytime I've seen LeBron lose in the playoffs, it's been because another team has played a perfect game. In order to beat Bron in the playoffs, Anthony Edwards, Dante DiVincenzo, Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, all of those guys, Rudy Gobert, are going to have to play an excellent game and win 4 games that are well played. One of them might have to be lucky, but above all, they're going to have to give some great performances in order to beat LeBron with Luka Doncic. Because beating LeBron by himself is already tough. Even if he got a trash team or whatever, it's already a tough thing to do. But at the end of the day, they got Luka Doncic too. So, it's tough. Obviously, we know what Anthony Edwards does, man, and he's not going to hold back. We've seen how he approached the whole Kevin Durant matchup last year when, it was that running joke where they was like, okay, well, yeah, they got Kevin Durant, but we got Jaden McDaniels. Like that was silly. And that's true. So we know how his approach is. He got faith in his guys and all of that too, which you need to have as a team leader. But I guess the only thing I can say is, yeah, the Lakers got LeBron and Luka Doncic, but the Timberwolves got Jaden McDaniels. Who knows? So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Man, it's gonna be tough. I'll be shocked to see if Anthony Edwards is the one that retires LeBron. He already got KD. He's got plenty of playoff experience. Pretty much just about went to the finals if you want. Like, I mean, he had a pretty good series these past few years. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. I don't know, but above all, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves winning this series in 6 games for sure, by a miracle, maybe. But I got them winning this in 6 games. Lakers gonna make it a matchup, and I wouldn't be super surprised if the Lakers did somehow, crawl back into the series and make it end up winning the series. Either way, this is one of those series where it's like a must-watch. You got to at least stay up late once or twice to catch some of these games. You're going to have to watch it because I think it's going to be something worth staying up and watching for sure. Other than that, look, man, we got, some news coming up. Some more playoff series is happening, so we'll go over those as well. Leave a quick take on the voicemail line, 219-413-9405. Of course, we'll play your take back on the next episode. But yeah, we got some news coming up in just a sec, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's halftime. All right, so let's get into it, man. We got some news here for the run. So just to let you know, shoot us a quick take, 219-413-9405. If you hear something that you just want to drop your opinion on, of course, we'll play it back on the next episode. Anyway, so let's jump into the playoffs tree right now. So the bracket for the playoffs, we still got a few more play-in games that's happening literally as I speak right now. So these play-in games are going to determine the 8th seed in the East and the Western Conference. So we're looking at the Miami Heat versus the Atlanta Hawks. The winner of this will go on and play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oh, wait, no, that's the Western Conference. They'll go on and play the Cleveland Cavaliers, who is successfully the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I think either way it goes here between the Miami Heat or the Atlanta Hawks. Either way, one of y'all boys getting swept. So it don't matter who goes to play who. That's really whatever. And then in the Western Conference, you got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And that matchup will, the winner of that matchup will go on to play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I think that's going to be a good matchup here. I don't see either of them getting swept. Possibly the Mavericks, if they go on, they might mess around and get swept, but who knows? Either way, so that'll be the matchup there. That's the last thing we're figuring out in terms of the playoff tree. Other than that, we're looking at, so the playoffs start Saturday, and it's going to be interesting. I'm so excited, man. My Pistons get their first playoff game since 2018. They'll take on the New York Knicks, as you know now. And, man, it's happening Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard or Central Standard Time where I am. But I'm excited about that, man. If the Pistons win, this will be their first playoff win since 2008, which is crazy. So when the Pistons win, this is what we're going to experience. The first Pistons playoff win since 2008. Cannot wait. It's about to be amazing to watch. Also, in the Eastern Conference, you'll have some more matchups happening that Saturday. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers is going to be a matchup that we get to watch come Saturday. I think that's going to be a great game as well. This game, I'm looking forward to it in this series, man, because, I mean, Pacers conference finals last year. Bucks obviously went down with some injuries, couldn't really get to their highest level and get to their full potential. But something that did happen is Damian Lillard did get cleared to come back and play basketball, even though he was suffering from blood clots. So apparently this is like the fastest anybody has ever recovered from. So huge help for the Milwaukee Bucks, man. So definitely excited about that series between them and the Indiana Pacers. And then after that, you got the Boston Celtics versus the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference. This is a matchup here. I think the Celtics definitely win this at the worst 5 games, without a doubt. But I think Celtics got this under control for sure. And then let's move over to the Western Conference, because Saturday we got that matchup of the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Should be a great matchup. I'm excited about that one. It's coming on at 7:30, probably 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then we also have the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets, which I'm intending on being a great matchup as well. I see this one here coming down to the wire. I initially was going to say the Denver Nuggets was going to win this series in 6 games. But, man, the tide has just turned because so much happened in the last 2 weeks of the season where they fired their coach, and the morale was apparently extremely bad all through the season. And then at the end of the season, that was even worse. So I got to go Clippers. I got to go Clippers to win this series in 6 games here. And then so after them, obviously, you got the Warriors and the Houston Rockets. And I'll actually explain a little bit on the Warriors and the Houston Rockets here because now the Warriors, man, obviously they were in a play-in situation and they made it out of the play-in, which is, a huge deal for them. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies and now they secured that 7th seed to play the Houston Rockets, who were the number 2 seed and who is the number 2 seed. But above all, in this matchup between the Warriors and the Rockets, man, I'm easily going with the Warriors to take down the Rockets in a minimum of 5 games. Yes, I said 5 games. I think it's going to happen because the Houston Rockets, man, they're too young. They're too inconsistent. They're too inexperienced. And there's just not enough talent to go around on that roster. And ultimately, above all, Steph Curry is 4-0 against the Houston Rockets in playoff series. And every other team that he's played against the Houston Rockets has been much better than this Houston Rockets team that's on the roster right now. So when I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, well, Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler got to go against the Houston Rockets, I'm like, bro, this is a dub. This is a dub because they got the playoff experience here. Obviously, they can buckle down and lock in when they need to, like they did against the Memphis Grizzlies. But me saying the Rockets is going to lose in 5 games doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to be close games. It doesn't mean it's not going to be good games that we're watching. I think it's going to be a series, and I think it'll be great games that's displayed. But above all, it'll be taxing. It'll be a taxing game, a taxing series on the Warriors. They'll just come away with the win. I just don't see them losing to a team with no playoff experience. Rockets, they haven't been in the playoffs. They've been nowhere to be found in the playoffs at all. And yes, they were the 2nd seed. Yes, they, play physical. They play defense. They're number 2 in rebounding and all of these glorious stats that you can pick up. But also, they just don't have the unique talent on the roster to go against a well-sautéed Warriors team. Because Draymond Green, champion. Jimmy Butler got to the finals multiple times. Steph Curry, champion, MVP finals. Like, come on, man. Matchup-wise, it's going to be tough to play. But above all, with this Warriors team, with their experience and all of that stuff, I think they got it in the bag. And sometimes star power is just all you need to win the series. Like, Rockets don't even have enough star power to even be in the same conversation as the Golden State Warriors. Yes, I know they play defense. I know they play physical. And I think it will be a taxing series. Like I mentioned, the Rockets, they're a physical team. You got Steven Adams. You got Dylan Brooks over there. We're going to probably see a lot of technical fouls and a lot of physical play, which is cool and expected. And that's exactly why I say it'll be a great series. It'll be a great games that we witness in this series. But above all, when it comes to closing out games, I trust Steph Curry much more than I do Jalen Green. I trust Draymond Green much more than I do Dylan Brooks. I even trust Jimmy Butler much more than I do Jabari Parker or not Jabari Parker. The other center. Y'all know, you know who I'm talking about. But I trust just about anybody on the Warriors team to close out games in a fashion that's going to help them win a game much more than I do the Houston Rockets, because they don't have guys on there. They just don't have many players on there. They don't have anybody who's a champion on there when I look at the roster. And let me just double check too, because, I'm almost certain that there's even bench players on the Golden State Warriors that are champions. Like, so, when I'm thinking about this in a broad perspective of, okay, well, Warriors and Rockets, number 2 seed, play-in team. Yeah, it sounds crazy. It sounds ridiculous. And I know, people let the hype get to your head of, oh, this is a number 2 seed. How can you say they're going to lose? They're a number 2 seed. They won over 50 games this year. How can they possibly lose to a play-in team? The narrative is crazy. The narrative is crazy. But it's going to be a reason why everybody is like so crazy hype about the Warriors and blow this narrative out of proportion. You got to do the build up in order to do the celebration. Like if the Warriors, now if they lose, it's no expectations. It's whatever. But above all, with the Rockets being the number 2 seed, it's already expected that they win. It's just, I think if they had the Memphis Grizzlies, maybe they would go on to the next round. But they got an experienced team in this matchup against the Golden State Warriors, and I just don't think it's going to be enough. So in the wise words of Kendrick Lamar, it's not enough. When I think of this series between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors, I just think of that Kendrick Lamar. You know, he said it's not enough. It's just not enough. The Rockets don't have enough, bro. They don't have enough star power. They don't have enough talent. They don't have enough experience. And they're just far too inconsistent above all. But I see the Warriors definitely winning this series because they close games. Obviously, we've seen how they closed out the season. It was a little shaky, but in the play-in game, it was belt to ass. And I think this series against the Houston Rockets is going to be belt to ass. And we'll see some great games. We'll see some physical play. That's some things you can expect to see. Maybe a lot of technical fouls because the rivalry of Draymond Green and Steven Adams is going to be back at it. Dylan Brooks is going to be yapping. Draymond is going to be yapping. It's going to be interesting, but they just don't have enough. Fred VanVleet ain't going to be the point guard to get you to the conference finals. Jalen Green giving you 30 points, and then the next game shooting 2 for 17 ain't going to cut it, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They're just not deep enough, man. Not deep enough. Jabari Smith, great player. Şengün, great player. They do have talent, don't get me wrong, but they just don't have enough to hang with the Golden State Warriors and close out a 7-game series. Maybe if it was a play-in game, they could probably get the Warriors. But a 7-game series, no, I'm not doing it. Warriors in 5. Rockets just ain't got enough. Anyway, so look, man, that's all I got for y'all today. I do appreciate you if you've been kicking it with me. Whether it's your Saturday, your Sunday, whatever day y'all be listening to these, I definitely appreciate it, of course. But I'll go ahead and say, leave us a quick take on a voicemail line, 219-413-9405. And then, of course, we'll play your take back on the next episode. We'll go ahead, drop your take, and we'll respond to it and all of that. So let me know who you got winning in these playoff series that's coming up. And if it has your interest, I know some people, we've had conversations where some people are like, this is the worst playoffs, these terrible matchups. And I thought it was the best. I'm like, damn, I was caught me by surprise. So, go ahead. Let me know what you're thinking about these playoff series. I would love to hear what everybody else has in mind about these series. Is it good matchups? Is it bad matchups? Do y'all think this is going to be a great playoffs? Is lining up? Personally, I believe that the matchups that we're getting in this playoffs and the NBA season as a whole has kind of been a great NBA season so far. So I'm sure that coming to the end in the playoffs, seeing these matchups, it's a lot of teams that's like spread out with even talent matching up against each other. So I'm excited about it. It kind of reminds me of a time, where it wasn't just an automatic winner, where it was like, a point in time where it was opposite of, the Lakers is going, the Warriors is going, the Cavs is going to the finals. At this point, we really don't know who's going to the finals. So I'm excited about this. And, I think the championship is really up for grabs for any team. And a person can make an argument for any team to win the championship this year. So I would love to know what y'all think about that. Shoot us a call, 219-413-9405. And then, of course, I'll play the take back on our voicemail line. Other than that, man, that's all I got. So I'm going to leave y'all with a positive note. And the positive note here is just going to be to be grateful for the things that you have. I'm going to just keep it as simple like that. Sometimes I repeat these things, sometimes I don't. But I just, regardless, I want it to be genuine. So be grateful for the things you have. So sometimes, I'll find myself, because I say it's the run because, we're all working hard. We're running towards something. But there's times I get frustrated about stuff. Certain things aren't the way that I want it to be. Certain things aren't going the way I want it to be. And I have to remind myself of being grateful for the things that's already there. All right, cool. I got a platform that I use. I got a platform, whether it's 12, 200, 2,000, 200,000 people listening, whatever it is, I try to make sure I'm grateful for it. Because there was a point in time where I didn't have the platform at all. I was watching other platforms, and nothing is wrong with watching other platforms. I mean, I still watch other platforms, but there was times I was watching other platforms wishing that I was able to do that. So it makes me grateful to think that, okay, cool, I do actually have a platform, whether it's a lot of people or little people on any episode that's listening. Either way, just be grateful for the things you have. And then that also makes me think, man, I have to give a special shout out. And I meant to do this earlier in the episode, but I forgot. But don't even trip. Don't worry about it. I'll clip it up. They're gonna get the social media shout out and all of that. Definitely want to give them their props, man. So first and foremost, I want to thank Millions Podcast. Thank you so much, man. You guys honored me, and man, I'm very, very appreciative of you guys at Millions Podcast. Thank you for dropping me in the top best 80s professional sports podcast. So this is like crazy, because I seen this and I read the email and I'm like, man, nah, what? Like, I didn't even submit. I didn't nominate. Like, what? I didn't submit for that and stuff. Because sometimes that's the case. Sometimes I do try to submit to be on rankings and lists and all of that stuff with podcast platforms. But bro, thank you, Millions Podcast. You guys nominated me and put me on the list for best 80 professional sports podcasts. And I'm ranked. Let me go to it and see what number I was ranked. I believe it was like number 12. But man, the list is... Oh, no, it was not 12. I got to go back. I was 17. I'll take it. I will take it. Like, you guys put me at 17. So I'm like very grateful for this. And I genuinely appreciate it so much, bro, because people who are close to me know how hard I work at the podcast and know I'm always trying to, the team I have, bro, Steph, all y'all at Clutch Points. Man, I'm so grateful for it. Obviously, like I'm gonna always continue to push for more, but man, I'm so grateful for it, because this just goes back to what I was talking about being grateful for the things that you do have. Like, sometimes everything isn't where I want it. My numbers on certain episodes is way higher and sometimes it's way lower. Like, me just being genuine with you guys, honestly. But bro, like, no, seriously, man, it makes me just extremely grateful to be on this list of best 80 professional sports podcasts. And then also too, I don't even remember what number. I gotta go look, but you guys put me on the 20 best Detroit Lions podcast. Crazy. I talk about the Lions. They threw me on there. 100 best NFL podcast. I'll take it as well. I need to go look at all of my numbers on here. So you guys are going to be getting a bunch of shout outs, because again, man, I'm just grateful for it. And these are big names on these podcasts too, bro. Like, I'm on here with Pardon My Take. I'm on here with Pat McAfee. I don't know if Pat McAfee is at number 2, but I'll take it. Busting with the boys, man. These are some crazy podcast platforms. So, man, I am grateful for it. And part of me genuinely doesn't know how to express it, because I'm so used to just accepting a win and then being like, okay, keep pushing forward. I'm so used to doing that. So I'm not really used to doing it. And honestly, me just being on here talking to y'all is me just brambling, and I'm really just going on at this point. It's just the open diary at this point. So whether it's you, Tam, Steph, I'm sorry, whoever edited this, oh man, or if I edited myself, whoever is editing this, oh man, hey, it is what it is. Don't trip. Either way, man. No, definitely just want to give a shout out to them. I'll probably be shouting them out for the next 1 to 2 weeks, because no, man, seriously, do appreciate that. But anyway, above all, man, look, be grateful. That's the positive note. And man, I've been talking y'all ear off. So enjoy the weekend. I'm about to get up out of here. I'm excited to watch my Pistons win a playoff series since the first time since 2008. So yeah, man, my Pistons about to win a series. And other than that, we'll be back later on next week. And so on and so on and so on.